Alright, so let's go to number 21, guys, and let's go over that one. See how we did. If you got it wrong, please make sure you fix it. This was just to see how well you did after only one example yesterday. So, number 21. First thing you need to do is you need to box in the first term that you see. What's the first term that we see? 10. Yep, 10 is your constant. So we're going to box in that 10 with one of our colors. I don't care what color it is, one color. Then you box in all of the terms that are the same as 10 with the same color. So what's the same as 10?
-1.
So I'm going to box in that -1. 4H and 8H are not the same because those are variable terms. So we only box in our constants because I can only combine constants with other constants. So then it says 10 minus 1. Does everyone see how it says 10 minus 1?
Mm-hmm.
What is 10 minus 1?
9.
So I have a 9. Then I take my next color. Whatever color you want. Box in the next term that you see. What's the next term that I see?
4H.
Now remember, you want to keep that plus sign with it, so it's plus 4H or a positive 4H, because pluses mean positives, minuses mean negatives. And what goes along with the 4H?
-8.
So I have now a positive 4H minus 8H. So that's saying 4 minus 8. Well, what is 4 minus 8, you guys?
-4.
-4. So we write 4H because that's what I'm left with, right? Now you told me it was a -4H, correct?
Yes.
So does a negative represent a plus sign or does a negative represent a minus sign?
Minus sign.
So I'm going to put a minus sign in between it, so my answer is 9 minus 4H. You can write it one other way. Okay, I can change my answers by flipping it around so my variable comes first, which means I can take the 4H, and the 4H was a what? So I need to write the -4H, and then I have a 9. Well, was that 9 a positive 9 or a negative 9? And if it's a positive, do I put a plus sign or a minus sign?
Plus sign. Plus sign.
But you change opposite.
But it's a positive. So if it's a positive, I write a positive. If it's a negative, I write a negative. So you can flip around your terms as long as whatever the sign is that in front stays with it. Does that make sense, guys? I will accept both of these answers. Either one is acceptable. Is that clear? Questions on that at all? Okay, let's go do number 22. So pick a color, don't care what color. Box in your first term that you see. What's the first term that we see?
-7x.
So I have a -7x. What term is the same term as -7x?
6x and 6x.
Okay.
Don't forget about that x, but remember, you need to put the plus sign with it. So it's plus x. Don't forget that plus sign. And then what also goes along with plus x?
Plus 6x.
Plus 6x. Don't forget, you have to have the signs with it. Always box in the sign with the variable term. Then do the math. I have -7 plus what?
1x.
1x. So -7 plus 1 is?
-6.
-6. And then I have a -6 plus 6.
0.
So 0 what?
Okay.
Okay, so I can have a 0x. What does 0x mean?
0.
0. There are none, right? There are 0 x's, correct, guys? Okay? So I'll come back to that in just a second. Pick up your next color. What's the next term that we should box in?
-12.
And what goes with that -12?
-9.
-9. Don't forget your integer rules. That's where students mess up on. Negative 12 minus 9 is?
Negative 3.
Wait.
3.
21.
It is a negative 21.
Negative 21.
Because remember, it is negative 12 minus 9. My signs are technically the same, right? Negative 12, negative 9, signs are the same, which means we add them. If my signs were different, I subtract. My signs are the same, we add. Okay? So, I get a negative 21, which means it is a minus 21. Does that make sense?
Kinda.
Okay? Have to know your integer rules. Plain and simple. If you don't know them, you can get the questions wrong, even if you know how to combine like terms. Now, my answer is not fully simplified here. Ruby? What? I don't have to just write x, because x means 1x. And I have 0 x's here. Luke?
0 minus 21?
Nope. Anderson? Eli?
0 minus 21.
That was already said. I said nope. Sam?
Would it be negative 21?
It would be.
Oh yeah, I was saying I'm equal.
All you're doing is there's 0 x's, so get rid of it. I don't need it, right guys? It goes away. So I'm left with just negative 21. It doesn't matter what your x even is, because that's your 0 property rule, right guys? So the answer, no matter what to this problem, is a negative 21. Yes.
I thought you were asking like what the equation would really be. Like,
Negative 21. That's what it would really be.
yeah, I was saying like if you were to write it out, it would really be the same as 0 minus 21.
Yep, but that's still not simplified. I want it fully simplified. That's the whole point of combining like terms, is I need it fully simplified. And negative 21 is fully simplified. Okay, let's go to 23. Pick a color. What's the first term that we should box in?
Negative 8.
Negative 8x. What goes along with negative 8x?
Negative 2y.
No. Maybe plus 23x.
23x.
Hey, remember, x and y, are those the same, guys?
No.
No, so you can't combine your x's and your y's because those variables are not the same. They must remain separate. So you can only combine the variable terms that are the same as other variable terms. So it's negative 8x plus 23y, or 23x, because they're both x's. You cannot combine terms unless they have the same variable to go along with it. Is that understood? Don't forget your integer rules, everyone. I have negative 8 plus 23. What's negative 8 plus 23?
15x.
Positive or negative? Positive. So I have 15x. Grab your next color. What's the next term I should box in?
Negative 2y.
Negative 2y. What gets boxed in with negative 2y?
Negative y.
So I have negative 2 and negative 6. Guys, are my signs the same or different?
Different.
Negative 2 and negative 6.
Same.
They're the same. They are both negatives. They are the same. And if they're both the same, we do what operation? Add. So negative 2y minus 6y is what?
Negative 8y.
And if it's a negative 8y, do I put a plus sign or a minus sign?
Minus sign.
So my answer is 15x minus 8y. Integer rules, guys, are so important. Now you know why that was the very first unit we did. Have to know them. Yes, Eli.
Since I messed up, I had to cover it up, and I thought it was an addition sign that went there.
Yep, be real careful. Alright, 24. What's the first term I should box up?
Negative a.
Negative a. What goes with my negative a?
Negative 3a.
Negative 3a. What's negative a mean?
Negative 1A.
Good, negative 1a. So I have negative 1 and negative 3. Are my signs the same or different?
Same.
So add or subtract. So what's negative 1a minus 3a? Negative 4a. All it is your integer rules. What's the next term I need to box?
Negative 5B.
What goes with negative 5b?
Positive 4B.
Anything else?
Negative.
So all of those are b's. All of those can be combined together. Don't forget your integer rules. This is where you will mess up. Negative 5 plus 4.
Negative 1.
Negative 1. Because negative 5 is bigger than 4. Negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1. And negative 1 minus 11
Negative 12.
is what?
Negative 12.
Negative 12b. Integer rules, integer rules, integer rules. If you go wrong somewhere, I can guarantee you it's because of integer rules. What's the last term that we need to box?
Positive 2.
Now, I have nothing to combine to that positive 2, so what do I do with it?
Just put it down.
Just bring it down. You have nothing to combine. That is totally fine. Just bring it down. Okay, here is what you are going to do now. You are going to do numbers 11 through 16 with the person sitting next to you, and then we will go over the answers as a class. You may get started. Go. Here we go, guys. Answers. 11. What'd you get for 11?
Oh, I got 11X.
That is correct. You should all have 11x written down. Remember, if you got any wrong, please make sure you are facing them so you have the right answer and asking any questions if you are confused. Number 3, what did you get for 12? Negative 5k is correct. Nicely done. 12. What did you get for 13? $17c plus 1 is right. Nicely done. 8. What'd you get for 14?
19 minus 2y.
19 minus 2y. How could I have rewritten that one if I wanted to? If I had it written a different way? Leighton?
Negative 2y plus 19.
Negative 2y plus 19. I would accept that as well. Typically, guys, you will see the variable term come first and the constants come second. That's typical order. Got it? Doesn't mean it's the only way. I'm just letting you know. 17. What'd you get for 15? 6m minus 13. 13. What did you get for 16? Negative 22 plus 8a. Who could tell me how to rewrite that with the variable term coming first? Anderson?
8a minus 100.
Excellent. Questions so far, you guys? How do we feel like we're doing?
Good. Awesome.
Okay, please go and do 17 through 20 and 25 and 26. You do not need to do 27 and 28. So finish those questions for me with your partner, please, and thank you. Here we go. Let's finish this up. 16. What did you get for 17?
5v plus 7.
5v plus 7 is correct. 23. Yes. Ethan, what did you get for 18? Good. How could I have rewritten that so my variable term was first, Luke?
Negative 5 and minus 15.
Perfect. I would accept both. Number 5. What did you get for 19?
Negative 2w minus 11.
Perfect. 15. What did you get for 20?
Negative 7 plus 8r.
Very good. How could I have rewritten that so my variable term was first? Eli?
8R minus 7.
8r minus 7. Perfect. Number 4. Oh, no, it is in here. 10. What'd you get for 25?
10n minus 7n plus 7.
Perfect. And last but not least, number 18. What'd you get for 26?
We didn't get that done yet.
Okay, 19. What'd you get? This is why you don't pack up until I give permission.
Negative 7c plus 11b minus 5.
Very good. Please make sure you have all of those answers written down in your notebook correctly.